area of a parallelogram and area of a triangle. Let's just recap those formulas so we have them. Where's my stylus? There it is. Okay, so we have area of a rectangle was base times height. Area of a square was side length squared. Area of a parallelogram was base times height. And area of a triangle was half times the base times the height. And remember, in every single one of these, the height is always made with what? Height is always made with what? The segment that makes the height has to make what? A right angle. So this is still the case. Height must always be a segment that makes a right angle. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now to find the area of a trapezoid, we're going to have 1/2 times the height times, open your parentheses, base 1 plus base 2. So this is our new formula here. And this is for a trapezoid. So now, when we have a trapezoid, it looks like this. Remember, the height has to make a right angle. So here's our altitude, here's our height. You have one base that's on top. The bases are the two parallel sides. So base 1 and base 2, doesn't matter which one you call base 1, which one you call base 2, but those are the two bases. So let's go ahead and try some problems. All right, so it says find the area. Well, this is clearly a trapezoid because I have one pair of parallel sides. So we're going to write out our area formula. Area is equal to 1/2 times the height times, in parentheses, B1 plus B2. Base 1 plus base 2. And now, even though I rotated this trapezoid, do you guys see how this segment that I just highlighted in yellow, see how it makes a right angle? Since that segment that I just highlighted in yellow makes a right angle, do we all agree that would be the height? So now we're going to have our area is equal to 1/2 our height is the 20, so half times the height. And in parentheses, I have to add the two bases. The bases are the parallel sides. So 15 is one base. What's the other base? 25. So we're going to have 15 plus 25. So now, according to order of operations, do I multiply or do I do parentheses or multiply first? Parentheses, according to PEMDAS, always follow PEMDAS. Order of operations, we have to simplify what's inside the parentheses first. So now we're going to have areas equal to a half times 20 times 15 plus 25 is 40. Now I'm going to handle the multiplication. Half of 20 is 10. 10 times 40 is 400 centimeters squared. I want you guys to do number 2 on your own. How do I know the height is 7 here? How do I know? Perfect. Yep, because the height has to be the segment that creates a right angle, and that 7 creates that right angle. So when you're plugging in here, it's going to be area equals half. The height is 7. The upper base is 10. The lower base is 30. And we know we have to, according to order of operations, always simplify what's inside our parentheses first. So that's 40. Now, remember, multiplication is commutative. So here, I can multiply in any order. So I'm going to choose to do half times 40, then times 7, because 2 goes into 40 evenly. So we get 20 times 7. So the area is equal to 140 units squared. No. If you label wrong, it points off, but if you just write the area is 140, I'd be okay with that. All right, next one. Okay, so again, hold on a second. Okay, so the next one, again, we have a trapezoid. Now there's a little bit of manipulation we need to do here. So area is going to equal half times the height times the sum of the bases. Now, do you see how this is 4 and we have the right angles? Does anybody know, even though this whole thing is a trapezoid, what this yellow shape is? What's this yellow shape? Stella? A rectangle, and in a rectangle, aren't opposite sides congruent? So if the top is 6, the bottom is 6. Why is it important for me to know that this bottom segment here is 6? Leilani? Good. So we could know one of the bases. And I know the height is 4 because it makes a right angle. So now we're going to plug into our formula and we're going to say area is equal to half times 4 times the upper base is 6. Now the lower base is not 6. The lower base is the total base, which is 12. So area is equal to half times 4 times 18. I'm going to take half of 4 is 2. 2 times 18 is 36 units squared. I need to do all those. Trying to see. Okay, we're okay. I'm going to skip some of these, but I want to do this one. So here, find the area. Can someone tell me why is it that I need to find this part right here? Why do I need to find that pink segment that I highlighted? Anybody know? Stella? Because that's the bases. Yeah, because we need the top base and the whole bottom base. That 15 is only this blue area. I need the total base. But luckily for us, this is actually a triple, something 12, 15. Does anybody remember what that triple is? You got it, 9, 12, 15. So now my total base is going to be 12 plus 15, which is 27. So we're going to have area is equal to half. The height is 9 because it makes the right angle times 6 plus 27. And then when we add 6 plus 27, we're going to get 33. And so when we multiply, there's no canceling anything. So I'm going to multiply 9 times 33 first. And so we're going to get the area is equal to a half times 297. And then I would just leave it as 297 over 2 units squared. I wouldn't waste time changing it into a decimal. You guys try actually, I want you guys to try number 6 on your own. See if you could figure it out. It's a little bit of manipulation. This time I'm giving you the area and I'm asking you to find the height. So let's see how you do with that and we'll go over it. Okay, so here, area is equal to half times the height times the sum of the bases. We don't know what the height is. That's what we want to find. But we do know that the area is 8. So instead of A, I'm putting that 8. And then they're telling us, or they're showing us, that the top base is 3 and the bottom base is 5. So now I'm going to have 8 is equal to half times the height times 3 plus 5 is 8. Are we all good with that so far? So now remember, multiplication is commutative. So I'm going to do 8 is equal to half times A times H. And the reason I did that is because it's easy to take half of 8. Half of 8 is 4. So now I have 8 is equal to 4 times H. Well, now we go back to pre-algebra, right? If I'm solving for H, what should I do? Divide by 4. So our height is 2. How many people got that? Okay. So now let's go back and do number 5. Okay, so here we need to find the height and we need to find the area. But before I can find the area, I need to find the height. So last time they gave us the area and everything else, so I was able to find the height. But this time we don't have the height and we don't have the area. So we have to utilize some prior knowledge, and we have to look at the shape that I'm highlighting in pink. And we need to recognize that that's a rectangle. And in a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. So if the top is 6, the bottom is 6. Why is this important to me? To know that the bottom of that pink rectangle is 6 when the whole entire base is 9. Good, because if this whole base of the trapezoid is 9, this is 3, and then this becomes a triple, 3 something 5. What's that triple? 3, 4, 5. So now we know the height is 4. So our area is going to be half times our height, which is 4, times our upper base is 6, and our lower base is 9. So our area is going to be half times 2 times 15. The 2 and the half cancel, so area is equal to, oh, sorry, that was wrong of me. The 2 goes into 4 twice, so we're left with 2 times 15, which is 30 centimeters squared. I want you guys to do number 7 by yourself. Do number 7 by yourself, and then we'll move on. how many people set up the problem correctly? This is where you plugged in. Perfect. So now we're going to have 30 is equal to a half times 15 times the height. Okay, so now this is a little bit tricky. We need to solve for h, but I can't take half of 15 as a fraction or a decimal. So we want to work with whole numbers. So we have a couple of options here. Because it's multiplication between everything, I can first, well, how many people decided to get rid of the half first? How many people decided to get rid of 15 first? How many people didn't know what to do from this point? Okay, so actually, I think the way that most of you probably would have done this in the middle school is you would have said 30 is equal to, and now you just multiply across, right? 1 times 15 is 15, 2 times 1 is 2 times the height. So now I'm going to get rid of that dividing by 2 first. If I'm getting rid of dividing by 2 first, I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides, and that cancels out the 2's. So now I'm going to have 60 is equal to 15 times h. Then I'm going to go ahead and divide by 15, and I will get h is equal to 4. So that's how you would do a problem like that. All right, we're going to cross out. We don't need to know this whole next part. So let's cross all of this out. We don't need to know any of this. Cross it all out. All the way to number 14, sorry. We're going to pick up on number 14. So we're crossing everything else out until number 14. I'll do 2 more problems and call it a day. Are we ready? We're all at 14. Okay, so it says the consecutive sides of an isosceles trapezoid are in the ratio of 2 to 5 to 10 to 5, and the trapezoid's perimeter is 44. Find the area of the trapezoid. Clearly, we need a diagram. So I'm going to draw a trapezoid. And now who remembers, I've been saying this since chapter 1, the minute we take numbers out of a ratio, I can't just write 2 and 5 and 10 and 5. I have to put something with it. Who remembers, what do I have to put with it? Noah? X, perfect. And because it's an isosceles trapezoid, that means the legs are congruent. So the 2 legs have to be the 5s and the 5s. So I'm going to say this is 5x and this is 5x since they have to be the same. The upper base is smaller, so I'm going to call that 2x, and the lower base is longer, so I will call that 10x. So I want you to label it exactly how I labeled it. Now, we want to find the area of the trapezoid, but in order to find the area of the trapezoid, I first need to figure out what x is. Well, they told us the perimeter is 44. So doesn't that mean if I add 5x plus 5x plus 10x plus 2x, shouldn't that equal the whole perimeter, which is 44? And then if I add, I'm going to get 22x equals 44. Divide by 22. And I'm going to get x is equal to 2. And if x is equal to 2, my lower base is 20, my legs are 10, and my upper base is 4. Now, in order to find the area, I need area equals half times the height times base 1 plus base 2. Do we agree the bases are 20 and 4? Base 1 and base 2, either 1, 4, and 20. Do I have a height? No, because there's no right angle. So I have to draw a height. So I'm going to go to the corner and I'm going to draw a height. But me drawing just one altitude doesn't help me. So what I'm going to do is on the other side, I'm going to draw another altitude. And by me drawing the 2 altitudes, this now helps me. Because what happens is I end up with a rectangle in the middle and 2, because it's isosceles, these 2 triangles are going to be congruent. Why is that helpful? Well, in a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. So if the top is 4, the bottom is 4. And since the total base is 20 and the middle is 4, I have 16 units left over. So that leaves me with 8 and 8 in order to add for a total of 20. This is a triple, something 8, 10. You got it. 6, 8, 10. Now we did all this to find the height. Now we have the height, we can plug into our area formula. Area is equal to half, my height is 6, the upper base is 4, the lower base is 20. So area is equal to half times 6 times 24. I'm going to take half of 6 is 3, and so the area will equal 72 units squared. Keep going? Yes. Sure. All right, last problem. Find the area of the trapezoid. So area is equal to half times the base, half times the height times base 1 plus base 2. Do we all agree the height is 6 because it makes the right angle? And my one base is 8, but I don't have the other base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate things a little bit. I'm going to drop down that altitude. So again, I end up with a rectangle. If the top of that rectangle is 8, the bottom of that rectangle is also 8. If the left side of the rectangle is 6, the right side of that rectangle is also 6. And now if I look at this yellow triangle, what kind of triangle does this have to be? This is a 30, 60, 90. So I'm redrawing this over on the side. This is 30, this is 60, this is 6. Across from the 30 is x, across from the 60 is x root 3, across from the 90 is 2x. So we have x is equal to 6. So we're going to have that bottom base is 6 root 3. Everybody okay with how I got the 6 root 3? I'm going to just move this down a little bit. So now my total bottom base, I can't add it. I can't simplify it. So I'm just going to write 8 plus 6 root 3 is the full bottom base. So now the area is going to equal half times the height, which is 6, times my top base is 8, and my bottom base is 8 plus 6 root 3. Inside the parentheses, do we agree I could at least add this 8 and this 8? So I'm going to get area is equal to half times 6 times 16 plus 6 root 3. I'm going to take half of 6, which is 3. And so now my area is going to be 3 times 16 plus 6 root 3. Who remembers when I have a number and then parentheses, what do I have to do with that number outside the parentheses? What is it called? Starts with a D. What do I have to do with that 3 outside the parentheses? Starts with a D. Distribute, good. So we're going to distribute in that 3. So the area is going to be 16 times 3 is 48. 3 times 6 is 18 root 3. So this is our area, units squared. Okay, and we are done for today. You do have